So friends, I believe in more about the interactive session. So I will be asking you so many questions in between the sessions, and you will keep responding me through this hand raise button. Uh, so I believe all of you can see the first screen saying about NIT and Metascale. Yes or no? Please raise your hand button. You can see, right? You can see the first screen. Cool, cool. Okay, so let me introduce you in a correct manner. That my name is Sandeep Verma, and I belongs to Metascale US company. So when I say Metascale US company, it is a one-shop big data store. Again, obviously we are going to talk about more details about the big data, but let me talk to you about the first my organization. Metascale is a US-based company which has a huge impact in all across the US and its IT center in India, in Pune. So we work on technology side in designing of architectures, providing the solutions, providing the infrastructures, identify the business cases, and all the business plans where business realize that these gaps need to be mitigated or these things had to be solution out by the technology end. So Metascale provide those kind of solutions. We have a very privileged partnership with NIT, and I am very happy to share my experience, my 10-year of learning experience with you guys, and I hope you will trouble me a lot by asking so many questions, so many doubts, even the silliest questions. I will be happy to answer that. And my takeaway from that, whosoever will be attending my session will always be a very sync with me. My agenda will be to express myself and explain you the everything for which I am here. Sounds okay? Yes or no? Raise button. Okay, cool. Okay, so friends, have you ever realized that whenever you type any product name in your Flipkart, say Ray-Ban sunglasses or Samsung mobile or some Digicam or any TV, one or two times maybe, did you ever realize it's propagate to your Facebook also? Do you ever realize that you are continuously getting a promotional email on your Gmail? Yes or no? So what I want to say, whenever you try to do any activity through internet in some retail section or any product based company, they share their data. When I say share their data, then there may be some magic. There will be some magic inside the data so that they share across. What magic will be and what is the big hidden insight within the data, that we will discuss. So if we all are into the social media network, we all are doing online training, we all go to our organizations, we swap our card, we give our fingerprints, we go to certain place where everything is CCTV monitored camera, we upload n number of photos into Facebook, download n number of focus photos, we download YouTube videos, we upload YouTube videos. Our Indian mission Chandrayaan sends a terabytes of data per second to its space center. Every school, every college has CCTV camera which captures gigabytes of data per minute or maybe per hour or so. Do you ever realize, we are creating a huge amount of data? Do you ever realize that if if billions of Facebook users uploads even a single documents per minute, how Facebook is going to store the data and what they are going to use that. Believe me, this is a real magic and real revolution of the next world. The data which we are generating now is not only by the human beings, this is also by the machines also. So our air conditions, if any flights, maybe the Kingfisher or the Jet Airways or maybe the American Express is flying from Mumbai to Chicago or Mumbai to Paris, it generates a terabytes of data during their journey. So what is the point of capturing so many data? How they are going to utilize that? Is there any business insight hidden into that? And if it is there, how we are going to retrieve that? So these are the very interesting use case which business is realizing right now. If you see the traditional business scenario, the marketing team do not focus about a very specific advertisements. When I say specific advertisement, they say there is a discount of 10% into a TV. But now believe me, my friend, this trend has changing like anything. Now this advertisement is going to be very customized. So now your organization or your product owner or the site you are visiting know their interest. They know your browsing pattern and they suggest and recommend the product which you have been just browse or you are maybe interested in. So since they know your pattern of browsing, they will be more focused in terms of promoting or recommending you about your interest. How this happens? Because they continuously capture your data through your weblog or through your navigation pages. I believe we all understand there is something in the data, so that every organization is capturing this much amount of data and they are trying to find out something inside the data which is going to help them to grow their business, to risk their gaps, or to maybe scale up in terms of a customer or maybe the brand enhancement. Am I with you? Are you guys okay with me? You can raise your hand. Cool. So 41% say they are okay. So why I can see only 41%? Okay. Okay. So cool. So if we understand why we are generating so much data and we are trying to find out something in our data, we must also understand the one more aspect of our data. So if you consider a 10-year back, we used to have a camera called Yashica or Kodak or something. So we will have limited to 36 roll and we try to cover the entire marriage in 2 roll or 3 roll with maybe the 70 or 100 snaps. Now do you think that every person has camera now, whether it's a mobile or iPad or maybe handycam or maybe some other gadgets or devices, and they are taking snaps like anything. So per day you are taking 10 snaps. So if I compare this from 10 years back, do you realize we are generating our data in a more fast manner? Yes or no? Do you realize that any website where we visit like Facebook or Flipkart, we are not only the one, the entire world is moving towards that and they are generating the weblog like anything. Can you realize what is the velocity of data generation? How frequently we are generating the data? So as I said, Indian Chandrayaan is sending the picture and statistics of moon TB of data maybe per hour. Can you imagine what is the velocity of data. So if I'm getting this data with this speed, then there is always challenge to store that data so that I'm not losing anything. It is not only about the velocity of data, it is also about the volume of data. Taking the same example, do you realize that size of picture may vary from your MB to GB? Do you realize that videos which we are generating is sometimes is HD, sometimes super HD, or sometimes it is a normal? Do we realize that the size of the volume of data what we are generating is not as similar as we are generating in our past decades or maybe the past years? These are huge, right? And also consider the music one. So earlier we had music like tips and T series kind of magnetic ribbon kind of thing. Now the music hardware music devices have changed. We have CD, DVD, pen drives, and even the audio video format. We have n number of formats. We are capturing CCTV footage of video which has its own format. We are capturing audio. So maybe this session is getting recorded for you guys in future. This is the audio format. We are capturing a JPG file. We are capturing a lot of documentation. So what I'm trying to say you guys, we have a data which needs to be considered into three parameters. The first is volume. We are generating a huge amount of data per second, per year, maybe per hour. Velocity of data, we are continuously getting instant data, online data, which is also huge in size, and we don't have restricted to our traditional types of data. There is a huge variety of data where we are interested. Do you ever realize that video clipping which we are capturing as a part of CCTV or the movies, there is also some business significance hidden out of that. This will be a very interesting use case which we are going to see in our session, how we will dig out those business insights and how we are going to use that for our business purpose. Sounds okay? You can pull, yes or no? Yes or no? Any question out of this? Any interesting question out of this? So if we all are clear with, I mean, we are generating data, we are generating a various kind of data, we are trying to find out something within the data. Any interesting questions? Any absurd, weird question which comes into your mind? So friends, I didn't use two terms. Okay, first I didn't use the term big data, I didn't use the term Hadoop. So don't go into about that part. Just think about the data perspective. Are you finding yourself very new to see about the new possibility of data? Yes or no? Poll button, yes or no? Sounds interesting about this generation of new data and finding some hidden value inside the data. Only 30% I can see. Friends, I expect 100%. Okay, any question you want to ask? No worries. Okay. So, if I say now I'm focusing to browse and find out about my data possibility, so believe me, I'm shifting my paradigm. I'm shifting my orbit. I'm trying to find out a very new possibility which is inside the data. This terminology is basically called a big data. So big data is nothing. Big data is exploring a huge amount of data to find out some business possibility. So there is obviously two challenges which is in front of us. The first, how we are going to store this huge amount of data, and second, how we are going to process this amount of data. Let's discuss one by one. So when I say how we are going to store means, so guys, we all have our machine, maybe the desktop or laptop with a capacity of max 1 TB. So if you go to buy your hard disk of 1 TB, it costs around maybe 4,000 for 1 TB. But the interesting scenario is that this hard drive is not used for a business operations. So any commercial or any organization cannot use these laptops or these hard drives to store their data. They use a certain kind of hardware device, those called as a NAS device or the SAN device. Those are very high-end, a very robust kind of device, which basically used to store their business data, which is so important that they cannot afford to lose it. And believe me, the cost of that is lakhs. If 1 terabyte of storage device comes into some lakhs, then again it is very challenged if I am storing a petabyte of data, a zettabyte of data into that particular NAS or SAN device for my data storing purpose. My IT budget will shoot up like anything. So this is again not a good idea. This is not a good idea to spend all millions and millions of dollars or rupees to store the data and then finding the business insights. What we will gain after filling that again, because already we have spent so much of amount to store the data. Big data is also going to solve this problem. How? That we will see. If you see, if you are copying your any movie from your laptop to pen drive or pen drive to laptop, it shows you some statistics. If your movie of 1 GB, it shows you like 10 minutes remaining, 999 MB data is remaining. So do you realize that 1 GB of data is copying into your machine in 15 minutes? What is this called, by the way? Any answer? What is this operation called to copy from X machine to Y machine? Isn't it is an I/O operation? Yes or no? Hand raise. I/O operation. It is called I/O operation, right? So if I use the technical term I/O operation, if my I/O speed is around 100 MB per second, 200 MB per second, then also 1 GB of data is copying into my laptop in 10 minutes. Correct. I can understand, Yadavpur, it is transferring speed, I/O operation. Absolutely. So what I'm saying, if GB of data is transferring into a certain minutes, then believe me, what will be the size of, if my data size is a terabyte or petabyte, what will be the speed? What will be the time it will take to copy? Believe me, it will be in the months or maybe the years. This is the I/O operation time with current capacity. So if I want to look something into a petabyte of data, it will take days and days to come up with my analysis and to find something. This is also not feasible. This is also not feasible to browse huge amount of data and get the result output out of that in a days or months. Big data is again going to solve this problem. So these two interesting miracle is created by big data is first the I/O operation and second is the very cost effective storage capacity. So always remember these two things. Note down your paper. The first is storing facility and second is processing facility. We will be talking more and more, and always we talk about these topics from our subsequent classes. I'm okay here, SLO, Paul. Any question as of now? So question is, somebody asked me what is big data, right? So friend, big data is nothing. Big data is a processing or storing or exploring data into the huge amount in a petabyte or zettabyte. So yeah, I mean, big is the size of big, small, but actually it is a huge data. It should not be a big data, it should be huge data. But this terminology is called as a big data. So let's stick with that big word. It is a big data. So consider a scenario. Consider a business scenario, uh, a very basic scenario. Any business operation required at least four things. The first one is what actually you want to do as a business operation. That is called your algorithm part, that is called your processing part. Second, you want to put this algorithm into a which data. What is the source of your data? That is your input world. Second is your input world. Third is what technology you are using to perform all these things. And fourth one is what you are getting out of that processing. So another four things. The first, what algorithm you are processing. First, how you are processing. Third, what is your source of input. And fourth and final one, what you are actually going to process that. So this is a very surface level business scenario. So if you consider this entire business, so if I want to write down for you, first is input, isn't it? Can you see my notepad? Okay. So going back again, what I was trying to say, consider a very basic business scenario, four parameters. The first one is my input, second is my processing, third is my technology, and fourth is my outcome. Yes or no? Pauline? So you must be agree with me that whatever the simple or the complex scenario will be, basically we are going to cover only the four parameters. There are data where we want to perform some algorithm using some technology and we want to produce some outcome. That outcome may be input to the other functionality. The outcome may be a management report. Outcome may be some other report. Technology may be is a big data or a non-big data or a Linux or Oracle or anything. Processing is your basic hardware part kind of thing, how we are going to do this, what is the infra part, and input on which data you are trying to do this. So consider this slide, which is on your screen. You will also realize that there is a data source in your left hand side. The data source may be any database, maybe any ERP package, and data format may be audio or video, maybe some Excel sheet, maybe a social media network, any logs, or output of any devices. Processing is your basically a framework which is always lies on the top of any infra part or any hardware. In our case, it is a big data. So when I say big data is a terminology used to explore our data. For that, I need a one framework. When I say framework, what is framework? Framework is an arrangement of technology which is intended to achieve some business operations. Framework has its own set of input operation. Framework has its own set of processing operation framework has its own set of providing the output kind of thing. So for perform a big data operation, I need a framework, and that framework is called Hadoop. So believe me, Hadoop is not a language. Hadoop is not a database. Hadoop is not a scripting language, and Hadoop is not a database also. Hadoop is a framework which consists of everything. So when I say Hadoop, I will be required a scripting language, I will be required a database, I will be required a input pattern, I will be required a output format, everything. So as a part of your self-learning, go and see what is the basically framework means. If I want to design something, then what should I expect from my framework? Then probably you will understand what is the relation between big data and the Hadoop world. So this is, yes, I just mentioned to forget, this session is basically to create an interest within you about the big data. This session is meant for the purpose you should be very curious and feel a challenge kind of thing about the big data. From the subsequent session, we are going to see each and every topic technically, functionally, and doing our hands-on and everything. So as long as today you are realizing a new world of big data, I am very happy. I am not expecting you to be a very deep understanding about the big data and the Hadoop terminology within this session. Fair enough? Yes or no? Polling button. Cool. So as I said, always remember two things. The first one is storing part and second one is processing part. I also told you that big data is going to solve these two problems very effectively. I also told you how do we work on big data. So that is a very broad level question which I'm expecting you guys to come up. How do we work on big data? So for working on big data, we require a framework which I just explained, and that framework will give you facility to not only the get data, store data, process data, store the data, and finally produce the output. So this is a very big question. There is no straight one-line answer of it. How do we work on big data? So we use Hadoop framework to work on the big data. One of the tool is Hadoop. Not only Hadoop is only one tool. Hadoop is only one single solution for a big data. Am I clear? Did you get somewhat answer? Maybe hand raise button. Guest 006. Yes. Okay. Cool. So in your screen, you can see the three keywords, that is the flexibility, scalability, and the low cost. I already told you the scenario. If I'm going to store that much amount of data into my high-end machine, it is going to a low cost like anything. You just cannot afford it. And if data is keep coming in the speed of G or TB or petabyte, then there should be some end, right? There should be some end in terms of limitation of hardware, that boss, we cannot store more data. So will I get the flexibility to add more data beyond that point? Will someday come that Facebook will say, boss, I'm completely exhausted, don't upload more pictures, don't upload more videos? Will YouTube say sometime that now we are closed, you cannot upload any data? I don't think so, because big data provides such a kind of framework which will always enable them to be flexible to enhance their machine from lakhs to crore and crores to millions and billions or all those things. So always remember, big data gives you a flexibility to increase your storage capacity. Big data gives you a budget where you can add your more hardware into low cost. And the third one is very important. Any database, maybe the Oracle or mainframe DB2 or MySQL or Teradata, has some limitation in terms of data storage format. If you talk about the RDB-based, they have their own format of row column. If you talk about the hierarchy one, it has a parent-child relation. And always data has the formats. You guys are better know because you all are very good in programming in Java or .NET or anything. But this big data tells you, I'm not restricted to those formats. I will store your audio data, I will store your video data, I will store your all CCTV footage, I will store your all XML files, I will store your image, bitmap, anything I can store, and whenever you ask it, I will provide you whenever as required. So I can see one question, let me address this. Is Hadoop is a software like Oracle or SQL Server DB2? Amit from NIT. So Amit, this type of question is very obvious. If that means you are thinking about what is Hadoop and how it is related to big data. So let's not call as a software. Hadoop is not a software. When you say software, you are thinking about installing something and doing kind of operation. So take this word framework and try to correlate Hadoop with that framework. Okay, I don't have any basic in your computer science. I'm sorry. Being a mechanical engineer student, I don't have any basic in computer science. No problem. No problem. So one of very interesting thing is that Hadoop is meant for those person who doesn't know the Java. Because every technology which is evolving required directly or indirectly a Java programming or Java concepts. But Hadoop says, even if you are not good in programming or you are not aware of your computer skills, Hadoop will provide you a very top level layer of understanding, and you can be independent of your software engineering phenomena or the concepts. So don't worry, keep stick, hang on. As we will move again more and more, you will realize that everything is new here, and what we need a very analytical thinking and try to understand the new concepts and new terminology. Okay? So we are taking away with this thing. Hadoop is providing us a very key features like in terms of low cost, in terms of processing, in terms of scalability, or in terms of variety of data we can store into our business scenario. And one question, how we will do this? So entire Hadoop session is stick to these questions. How we are going to use. We will see how we will store data. We will learn how we will process data. We will understand how this all miracle can happen into a very low cost. So this is the main objective of our data, to understand how these three business scenarios can be captured into a big data Hadoop. Okay, so when you will finish the session, when you will say my Hadoop training has completed, then I expect you will learn about certain things. You would have been a very clear understanding about these three parameters, and you will be encountered across several new technical terminology. When I say data store, then there will be a new term for you. Will be, give me one sec. When I say new term, it will give you new term HDFS. When I say data process will increase the miracle, then it will be a map reduce. When I will say a database, how the database structure will be and how we are going to store data and retrieve data, Then we will have a new database for SQL and NoSQL database. We will also understand a very new terminology of getting data. Generally Hadoop uh, is the is the technical phenomena which is done over static data. When I say static data, as in say Flipkart has stores is billions of weblog into a store, and it is finding some detail out of that. Who is a customer who has visited a maximum number of attempts into a particular product? I'm repeating, who all are the customer who had visited maximum number of attempts into a which product. That means he is probably thinking of buying that. So this kind of operations required all the previous transaction of maybe the before 6 months also. So this is a static data. But if I want to say who all are the customer right now browsing my this particular product. If I launch one scheme of 10% discount or buy an offer or buy one get one or maybe exchange offer, then as a business owner, I may want to know who all are the customer are viewing my this particular business feature. This is not a batch operation. This is a online transactional or in-stream operation. Hadoop is also going to solve this problem through certain tools, which is mentioned in the last line, is called Yarn, Spark, Flume, and the other business technology. These words maybe looks very strange to you, but believe me, when you will learn this, you will realize why we are thinking and discovering these things so late. It is very evident. It doesn't fall from the sky. This had to be evolved some time ago itself. We will also understand what all are the basic technology used to get data, to process data, and to perform certain business operations. Can you see this choice question? I want to really understand if we all are on the same page. I'll be happy to know that we are understanding the new world of big data, and I will be also very happy to answer the question if we are not in sync. So I can see certain percentages saying they didn't understand.
I have a question here.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So you said actually there are in the architect in the slide number 5. Can you put a slide number 5?
Absolutely. Okay.
Can you put slide number 5? I have a question over there.
Yeah, please go ahead. I have slide number 5. Yes, you can ask the question.
So can you put it in the, because I am not seeing that slide number 5.
Okay.
So can you select it?
And can you come in front of your webcam? I'm not able to see you.
Yeah, this is Ramanathan from Coimbatore.
Okay.
Are you able to see me now?
No, I'm not able to see your face. Can you come down a little bit? Just raise your webcam. What? More. Yeah, better. Yeah, go ahead, please. Hi, hello.
Yeah,
how are you?
In the slide number 5, you say that a data source.
Yes.
Right? The data source is a collection of data from the various database, right? So actually the is an online OLTP or actually maybe the Oracle or some other data, right?
Yes.
Data source.
Right.
So those data source actually each and every data is collected, and big data is actually the collection of all small data source. Is right?
No, my friend. Big data is not a collection of all data sources.
No, it's kind of processing, some kind of processing done by the Hadoop framework, and you are putting in the big data based, right?
You can use word framework.
No, thing is hard. So you mean to say that big data is actually the part of the Hadoop framework, is right?
Right. No, Hadoop is a part of big data. Hadoop is a part of big data. Yeah.
Okay. So you have a data sources, multiple data sources. So you at the same point of time, can you able to collect the data from the multiple data sources?
Okay. So if I understand your question correctly, then say I have a 5 data source. The one is Oracle. Second is from Weblog. Third is from mainframe. Fourth is the output of one operation, and fifth one is maybe output of some social media. Then if your question is at 12 o'clock, will be I able to get the all 5 sources of this data at a time? Is this your question?
Exactly.
Is this your question? Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
So consider a scenario. If you are talking about the parallel thing, or you are trying to see the capability of data ingestion kind of thing. Okay, let me brief you
Data
all.
injection.
Data injection. Okay, fine. So for data sourcing, if you say data ingestion, so consider this as a 5 tunnel. Consider this as a 5 tunnel. Those are 5 separate tunnels. Okay. So if I am talking about the Oracle database, so Oracle database will have a different connectivity driver with the Hadoop world. This called say as a tunnel 1. If I have a mainframe DB2, it will maintain a separate tunnel, a driver and the connections to HDFS. If I have a weblog from Facebook or Flipkart, it will have some other phenomena of data sourcing. These all can happen simultaneously. These all are interdependent. Basically, they will be either on the file driven or the time driven, but believe me, they are all independent to each other. So Hadoop will never say that I am getting data from one, I cannot take data from two. It will not happen.
So this data source is not a cloud, right?
I'm sorry, please
not
come
from
again.
The cloud.
Cloud.
Cloud data sources is not from the cloud.
Data sources may be from the cloud, but eventually you will understand this entire thing is mounted on the cloud. If you will understand the entire big data or Hadoop, you will realize that in all this story lies on the cloud. So if you are on the cloud, then definitely cloud may be the one of your data source. That is not a very unique data source.
Okay.
Are you okay with me?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. There is one more question which I can see. Will you please describe the term scalable and the batch processing engine? Okay. So scalable as in, suppose you are a business owner and you realize that 1,000 hardware will be enough for me, and you have maintained your all infra as design as per 1,000 hardware. But suddenly your business shoot up and you realizing I'm getting more and more business. Now this 1,000 is not going to help me. I need to increase by 500 more. So will your current framework current hardware will allow you to add the 500 more, or like Oracle or DB2, it will say, boss, you have to find out some other rack, other licensing cost, other maybe the infra licensing device and cost. We cannot do this for you. So Hadoop will never say you. Hadoop will say, bring your N number of device and connect into a network. I will be more than happy. It will not affect my processing. That is called scalability. You can scale up your hardware, your processing power like anything without affecting the current business. And batch processing is nothing, but whenever you're doing any operation in static data. When I say static data, so if you are using the credit card, and if your credit card statement is generating on the 20th of every month, then is a huge batch operation done on 16th, 17th and 18th on the static data, and based on that, your credit card statement is getting generated. So this is a batch operation. You are doing your data which is static, which is not changing. But transactional data is something that if you swap your credit card, immediately it hit a pause, and then firewall, then banking transactions, then mobile network, and it come to your mobile as a SMS. This is a transactional processing. So there are two types of business processing. First is batch one, and second one is online or the transactional one. Am I clear, Amit? Amit, you can answer this by raising your hand. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, one more topic I want to discuss with you is, at the end of this training session, you will have some choice in your hand. Then if you all are very okay with the Hadoop concepts and the big data, latest technology and their tools and components, and you may be discussing with your friend who will say, boss, I'm a developer, I'm a pig developer, I'm a Hive developer. Some will say, I'm a Hadoop admin, I'm looking after the name node and all those terminologies, and I'm a big data architect. I design the big data. I decide what technology to be choose and where it to be placed and how it is to be processed. Some will say, I don't know anything, I do the analytics part. I design algorithm which get the insight within the data. I give the business solution to business. So you may be confused. I mean, what guys are doing. I mean, if big data and Hadoop is the technology, then how these all people are associated with such kind of different profile. So before you get confused, let me tell you, every technology has some different profile to work upon. Similarly, in the big data, if you are interested in coding kind of thing, then you can opt as a Hadoop developer. You will be designing and coding, designing a high-level design, low-level design. You can test it and you can deploy into production, and you can monitor all those execution parts. If you want to see how these components will integrate to each other and what are the input or output communication kind of thing, then probably you are leading the developer. You will be a senior developer kind of thing. And above that, if you have some business case operation that your business say, I want to see the all list of users who are doing XYZ operation every day, then being an architect, you need you need to understand what is your current system is, what component is there, what data lies where, which data need to pull up, what operation need to be done there, and how you are working to that data. So basically, this is an architect role. When I say if your job is to analyze the data and find out the all possibility, like 70% of Indians lives in village, and every year 50% migration happens of each village. These kind of very shocking statistics which you need to continuously dig into your data, that is a data analyst. And finally, data scientist, when business owner tell you, give me the scenario, give me the data, because I want to perform this kind of operation. So data scientist is the thing which is more over the mathematical statistics things. You have to be very good in mathematics algorithm, and you need to derive a mathematical model out of that. So probably my purpose is you will be keep hearing about those profiles like developer, senior developer, analyst, architect, and data scientist, all those things. This course is intended to provide you solutions from developer point of view, senior developer point of view, and somewhat architect point of view. So these three we are going to cover, and since I also work as a data analyst, so most probably my examples will give you a good insight about a data analysis also. Cool? Poll button. I'm expecting more green. Okay, I can see one question. No questions. Any question out of this? Any question? So now we try to see what is the scope of big data, what is different unique thing we are going to do this. Obviously, we are going to use the various components, what could be our profiles and all those things where we fit in the current business model. We have learned nothing, but we scoped our learning, what we are going to learn all those in subsequent topics. Okay, what is the better part of big data? I didn't understand. I didn't really understand. Guess 00. What is the better part of? Will we get these slides? No, my friend. These are a pirated one, so probably you need to rely on your notes. These slides cannot be shared because these have some legal issue with Metascale and NIIT. Any question? Yeah, guest 006, you want to say something? Guest 006, I'm waiting for you. So, just to check whether your mute button is activated or not. I mean, it should be mute.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you, but yeah, if you can speak a bit louder, it will be better.
Yes, exactly. In slide number 9, can you put on the slide number 9?
Okay, slide number 9.
Yeah. You've given a list of data things, right? Like big data architect, big data developer, senior developer, data associate, data scientist.
Yes.
Which one is the better part of big data? I'll just like I'm a mechanical thing guy.
Okay.
I've been working in a company for the past 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm. What is your profile? What you are doing? What is your current role?
I'm a quality engineer. In KCP.
Okay, then what your day-to-day activity? What you do? I mean,
the thing is, they work on heavy engineering. They develop projects.
they develop projects.
Something
So,
like FLS. You must be knowing FLS.
I'm sorry, come again?
Do you know FLS? FL Smith.
No, really I don't know, my friend.
Okay. They're into heavy engineering. Like they develop, they manufacture machinery, like what to say, thermal projects or boilers or something like that. Heavy engineering.
So do you use any designing tool? Do you write any script for that?
No, I am a quality engineer. We just check the quality part.
So how do you check that? Do you?
Very new.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Design department.
No, for better. I'm trying to give you a very suitable answer. That's why I'm asking so many questions. So I'm interested to know your exact profile. So for the test part, do you create any test plan or test cases or any test scenarios where your quality assurance process is mapped across?
Yes, we have a QAP, Quality Assessment Plan.
Okay. So do you have some checklist?
Yes, we have.
Okay. So if you have a quality design checklist, then I'm assuming that you have a very good understanding of your product. You know how the all components are integrated, and against each component what functionality is expected. Am I right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I think, and if you are not into the coding part, then don't opt for the developer part.
Okay.
Okay. So you can choose two things, either the data architect or data analyst, because these are the scenario. And what is total experience of your professional career?
As a quality engineer, I've been working for 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yes.
Then I think in a big data world, you have to start with your career either as a Hadoop lead or data architect.
So I really have no idea. So I just wanted to ask you which one is the better one for me to choose amongst these five.
May I know your name, please?
My name is Yashwant.
So Ashwant, I'm just parking your question. Which one is better for you? So it is just like,
Yeah.
I mean, which car is better, Nissan or Ford or Toyota? You also need to be consider the features, right? So so park your question. Ask this question into third or fourth session of Hadoop from me.
Okay.
Okay. Then probably
Okay.
you will be the better position to ask this question, and I will be in better position to give you the answer. What is the best profile suited for you?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There are a couple of questions from Chin. Okay. From business analyst different from big data, or it is a subset of business analyst? No, it is. Okay. I can. I cannot say that uh, business analytics. Uh, bus- I think I am missing the first word. You are trying to ask. I think data analyst. Data analyst is different in big data. It is subset of business analytics. So business. If you're trying to map with the role of business analyst BA, then no, no. BA is a complete non-technical guy, but here the data analyst is a technical guy. You have a lot of technology in front of you and you have a certain business requirements maybe from the business analyst and you are trying to achieve it. Yes, it is different from business BA role. So guess 001, I think I'm okay. Chinmay is asking, is this course what we can learn coding part or analysis part? Analysis is up to your analytical skill. We are going to provide you each and every concept of big data, and as a part of those concepts, we will have a complete hands-on session over here. So analysis is not correct word. You will have a conceptual knowledge and the hands-on session here. Analysis is the part when you will do real scenario, real business case. Guest 004, sir, we will be provided with some material, right? Yes, certainly. I mean, there are certain course materials especially designed for you. You will get that. Guest 010 is saying, if not this slide, will we get? Yes, I think I answered this question. You will get, certainly you will get for your study reference. So I think I have given a fair idea about the subsequent classes and the entire these courses. Now about the mode of this training and all those things, Chaya is going to explain you each and every granularity of all those things. I'm just handing over this session to Chaya. Chaya, please. So Vinod, can you switch this camera to Chaya?
Thank you, Sandeep.